best interviews, celebrities, and a whole lot of fun. Tune in every Wednesday, 3 p.m. to 4, right here on the Real 1100 AM.
Tune your radio.
Tune in.
Now.
You can tune into this radio station on any smartphone or tablet.
iPhone,
Android,
BlackBerry,
Nokia,
Samsung,
Windows phones,
or whatever you have. Download the free TuneIn app from your phone or tablet's app store.
Tune in with music, sports, news, and comedy.
From over 70,000 radio stations around the world, including this Beasley Broadcast Group station. Check it out at tunein.com.
Or your app store.
Need to replace your Social Security card? In most states, you can request one online with a My Social Security account. A My Social Security account gives you secure access to your personal earnings history and benefit status. You can also get a proof of income letter, estimate and apply for benefits, and more. Save time. Go online. Open a My Social Security account at ssa.gov/myaccount. Social Security. Securing today and tomorrow.
Produced at U.S. taxpayer expense.
How do you define strength? Is it physical? Or is it mental? Maybe it's both. Maybe it's whatever empowers a person to dig deeper, fight harder, and overcome obstacles that once seemed insurmountable. Discover how much stronger and more confident your children can be. Encourage them to participate in a sport when they go to high school.
This message presented by the Georgia High School Association and the Georgia Athletic Directors Association.
Hi, I'm Vivica Fox. For more than 100 years, American Humane has been rescuing animals during hurricanes, floods, and wildfires. But Mother Nature isn't the only danger animals face. Sometimes it's human nature. Every year, 6 million animals are abandoned and more than 1 million are euthanized. You can be a hero to animals in need of rescue and adoption at AmericanHumane.org.
www.AM1100.
The opinions expressed during the sponsored programs on this station are strictly those of the program hosts, guests, and callers and are not necessarily those of Beasley Broadcast Group, this station, its staff, other advertisers, or agencies.
Woo! And we are back with another episode of the number one rated business show right here on the Real 1100 AM. It is a brand new year. We are finally out of 2020, thank God. And Lord knows we don't want none of that mess to carry over. So now it is 2021. We are so glad to have you here. Thank you so much for joining us again for another installment of the number one rated business show. Got a great show for you guys today. Coming up, we got Mark Collier. He's going to be joining us. He's a business consultant with the University of Georgia, and he'll be explaining to us how to get started for the 2021 year for your business. After that, we have Marvin Wilson that'll be joining us all the way from Charlotte, North Carolina. He is the funding CEO, and he'll be talking to us about how to get your business funded. And then finally, joining us today, the newest addition to the Atlanta Business Journal family, John Moy, will be joining us today. He is our ABJ political commentator, and he will be coming in to talk to us all about the race from yesterday and this wildness going on in the capital of the United States right now. 2021 is here. So I tried to get y'all to get prepared last year, but some of y'all didn't. And that is fine. We got a lot of folks responded to us that came out and joined us for our first mastermind group. And they are on their way to success. And I want to help you get there, too. So even though 2021 is here, we're a couple weeks into the brand new year. We want to definitely make sure that you are on the right track and that you're moving in with the right strategies. Being online this year is still going to be very, very crucial to your business. It's still going to be very, very crucial to your business. So we really want to make sure that we have a great digital strategy. You still need to be putting out that content through social media. So we definitely want to make sure that we have a good strategy for that, as well as, starting to add in some other things that can definitely help boost your brand and boost your business. So if you want to join this next mastermind group that'll be going down January 30th, please shoot me an email at connect@kevincpride.com. Once again, that is connect@kevincpride.com. And if you will put mastermind in the subject line, then I will definitely make sure that I get back with you as soon as I possibly can. Now, also, we are still racing to read here in Atlanta. We've already reached over 2 million minutes read in the city of Atlanta, and hopefully that number just continues to rise and rise. But I definitely want you guys to be a part of that. So I want you to go to race2read.org and sign up to help Atlanta becomes the city that reads. And once again, we are trying to reach a total of 10 million minutes read. So I really want you guys to go over and join us on this mission from Race to Read. Now, also, to all my men, it is a brand new year. If you're looking for a brand new style, I want you guys to go see my personal barber over at Studio 1211 in Douglasville. He is located right there at 6405 Fairburn Road. You can even call and schedule an appointment at 770-485-6772. Once again, that is 770-485-6772. Ask for Melvin, tell him Kevin sent you, and he might even give you a free lineup. Also, the Black Business Networking event returns January 7th, 2021. So I want you all to go over to urbanatlanta.org. As soon as you leave Race to Read, I want you to go over to urbanatlanta.org and then sign up to get you some free tickets to join the Black Business Networking event with my good friends Corey Moore and Ray Abram. And it's going to be a great event. It's first one of the year, and they always do something super special. We're going to take a quick break real quick, and we'll be right back after this.
Is your business online? Well, in today's world, if you're not online, then your business is not going to survive. Do you have a WordPress website? Well, if you do, I want to make sure that you go visit my good friends at Fast Fix WP and make sure that WordPress website stays running smooth. Trust me, there is nothing worse than having a big presentation or have a customer on your site and then your site goes down. So I want you to go visit fastfixwp.com and make sure your site stays running smooth and stays online every time you need it.
Need to replace your Social Security card? In most states, you can request one online with a My Social Security account. A My Social Security account gives you secure access to your personal earnings history and benefit status. You can also get a proof of income letter, estimate and apply for benefits, and more. Save time. Go online. Open a My Social Security account at ssa.gov/myaccount. Social Security. Securing today and tomorrow.
Produced at U.S. taxpayer expense.
This pandemic has many people suffering. Are you stressed? Are you not sleeping well? Are you suffering from neck pain, back pain, or headaches? Chiropractic can help. Chiropractic is a natural healing art that can resolve many of your ailments. Dr. Williams and Dr. Fowler of Align for Life are board-certified doctors of chiropractic with over 15 years of combined experience. They are located in South Atlanta and are available for your healthcare needs.
If you want to be fine, take care of your spine. Visit them at yourfinespine.com.
Kids follow your lead. Help them stay healthy. Wash your hands. Don't touch your eyes, nose, or mouth. And cover coughs and sneezes. Clean and disinfect the objects you touch often, like your phone, the remote, and doorknobs. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. And if you're the one who's sick, stay home. This station is part of the Beasley Best Community of Caring, and we care about your family. For more info, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19.
And we are back right here. We apologize. We had a few technical difficulties getting started, but that's quite all right. It's 2021, and we're going to make it do what it do. Joining me to the program, he is a business consultant with the University of Georgia. Let's see. He also he's a faculty member over at the University of Georgia Small Business Development Center. He also delivers high-level consulting and educational resources to entrepreneurs, business owners, and senior-level managers. He has also assisted valued clients in evaluating and strategizing the best and most efficient path to starting or growing a successful business. Joining me to the program right now, Mr. Mark Collier.
Kevin, good afternoon, and thank you for inviting me onto your show, sir.
Oh, not a problem, man. I was a little scared you weren't going to be able to get on.
No, it's all good, man, for first of the year.
Oh, yeah. Let's see. Yeah, let's go ahead and jump into it. So
all right.
2021, you said the vision for this new year begins. So tell us right now, what are some of the things that you're advising some of your clients and some people about what they should be doing in 2021 to get started?
Absolutely, Kevin. At the beginning of the year, strategic planning is at the forefront of everyone's mind.
Okay.
And if 2020 didn't kind of reinforce for folks that the importance of strategic planning, I don't think anything will. Benjamin Franklin has an old saying, if you fail to plan, then you're going to plan to fail.
That is true.
And I worked as a project manager for about 15 years, and businesses are a lot like buildings. The most important part of your business is the foundation.
Okay.
So, and strategic planning is a core element of that foundation. And here in January, it's a good idea to sit down and formulate your strategic plan for the year.
Now, being a business owner myself, I do really understand the strategic planning part, because it is. I promise you, these years, before you know it, it goes up, it goes down, and just all over the place. And without a good, solid plan to refer back to, a lot of times you kind of get lost, and then ending up with the shiny ball syndrome, just chasing whatever opportunities come along. What are some of the things that you are telling businesses and some of your people that is the first thing that they need to focus on this year? Like, what is that very first thing that I need to start thinking about when I start to put down this strategic plan?
The very first thing you want to think about is, I always like to, what they say, begin with the end in mind.
Okay.
So you want to look toward the end of 2021 and say, where do I want to be this time next year? So, and then once you start with the end in mind, then you can start to build your strategic plan to help you get there.
Oh yeah, definitely. And
there,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say there are a couple of steps that you want to take, but before I get into those, go right ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's quite all right. But no, I definitely understand, and even to this day, the longer I've gone in business, and someone gave me this advice one time, is when you're starting a business, you need to be thinking in the beginning what that exit strategy is going to look like. So what am I going to do with this? How am I getting out of this business? So I definitely am one of those type of people that really see that end goal that I'm looking for first, and then I start kind of planning backwards.
Absolutely. I mean, savvy business owners like yourself, you understand that important distinction between promise and planning. And setting that clear vision for the new year begins with effective strategic planning. And I've got a couple of steps here that hopefully will help your business owner, your business listeners engage in that process.
Now everybody like throw this strategic word out here, and I think a lot of times people get confused because they think it needs to be something just super, almost God-given type ideas. Break down what a basic plan would look like for a business owner starting January to December.
Sure. Basically, a strategic plan is going to have a couple of core components.
Okay.
It's going to have a detailed, what we call a SWOT analysis, which is strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats.
Okay.
So once you go through that initial SWOT analysis, you'll be able then to identify some key performance indicators or specific measurables that will get you to that end result that you're seeking for that year.
Oh yeah. Definitely. Now, I'm looking at some of the stuff that you've been talking to and advising some of your clients about. And I'm seeing some of these words that we use all the time. But let's start with this first one, engaging a facilitator. It kind of explain to our audience and matter of fact, explain it to me.
Right,
Engaging that
very good.
facilitator.
A facilitator is someone is a third party, someone
Okay.
outside of your organization who's going to help walk you through the strategic planning process.
Okay.
And an experienced facilitator is going to greatly increase both the value and the ROI of the strategic planning exercise. Sure, as a business owner, you can conduct that strategic planning exercise on your own.
Okay.
But by engaging an experienced facilitator, the business owner will be afforded the opportunity to fully participate in the creative part of the process, as opposed to having to deal with the procedural aspects of the strategic plan itself.
And you know that is very, very important because I see a lot of business owners wasting their time trying to do a lot of stuff that's really not their skill set because it's so many people get into business for a specific reason, and then once you actually get into business, then you find out, well, I got to be an accountant, I got to be a marketer, I got to understand digital, I need to be a web designer, I need to be all these different type of hats I need to put on. And so many folks just get lost in trying to wear all those hats instead of focusing on why they started that business and becoming profitable through what they actually know, and then let the people that's experts in those fields do those things.
That's a great point, Kevin. Most business owners are very gifted at that product or service that they deliver.
Oh yeah.
A lot of the ancillary things wrapped around the business, they may or may not have expertise in, and may or may not have a desire to engage in them. And that's why, as you said, it's very important to delegate that stuff, go out and procure the relevant subject matter experts that you need to help pull it together.
Oh yeah. I know this year I'm gonna be engaging a business manager because doing the management, overseeing, the folks working with you and that type of stuff is just it is not my super skill set. I don't have the face for it. You know how some people got that face and they can be mad as I don't know what, but they still look like they're just as calm. That's not me.
Oh, I get it, man. I get it. But once you get that facilitator engaged, the next step is to identify and select the relevant questions that are going to help you put together your strategic plan.
Wow.
And getting this part of the process right is going to be critical, because only by asking the relevant questions will the strategic planning process yield the relevant information that you'll need to produce the outcomes that you desire.
And that's beautiful because a lot of people, it's kind of like searching Google sometimes. It's like, I've been looking at Google and all this type of stuff, and I can't find what I'm looking for, but you're not asking the right question. And
That's
a lot of times you see that same thing in business. And people are just not I don't want to say they're not thinking straight, but a lot of times, people are just not asking the right questions. So therefore, they're not getting the advice that they need. What are some of those questions that are relevant and just generic? We ain't got to get into a specific industry, but what are some of those questions that business owners kind of need to be thinking about, and those questions that they need to be asking?
Well, yeah, in each one of those quadrants, in terms of the SWOT quadrant, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, some of the questions on the strength side that you want to ask yourself is, what's working well? What's making a difference? What value do we bring to our customers? And what are our differentiating factors? So those are the kind of the high-level questions you'll ask to complete the strengths quadrant of that SWOT analysis.
That's beautiful. And what I had to do this year, I really took a hard look at our business and really starting to look at, all right, how are people perceiving us? What are people seeing out there in the marketplace? What are we getting the most calls for? That type of thing right there is one of those type of things that really, really helped me start to focus a lot more, because the name of our marketing company is Influencer 365, but without that marketing company behind that, you probably wouldn't know that. And for a while, we had a lot of issues with that. And now that's one of those type of things that we're really focusing on in 2021, is making sure that people understand the brand, they understand what we offer, and understand what we're delivering.
Correct. And then conversely, and this is one of the tougher parts for business owners oftentimes to engage in, is to take an introspective look at their weaknesses.
Okay.
What's not working optimally? What's not making a difference? What processes or procedures need improving? What's hindering our sales?
That's beautiful.
What do our customers dislike? So those are some of the high-level questions on that side of the quadrant that have to be looked at and answered honestly.
And that is great advice. Great advice. And let me piggyback on that. One thing that I also had to look at is my processes, my internal processes. Are these really working for us? Is there ways that we can make this better, more efficient, and more understandable so we can have a better flow of people working with us and everybody kind of understands our uniform system? So that is great advice.
All right. Now, strengths and weaknesses, as you alluded to, are internal. So you're looking at those from an internal perspective.
Yep.
The other side, the other half of the SWOT analysis is the opportunities and threats. But those you have to look at, those should be external to your company. So now you're not looking inward, you're kind of looking outward. So, for example, in terms of opportunities, some of the high-level questions you want to ask are, what needs to be improved or changed?
Okay.
What should we stop or start doing? And again, what are our differentiating factors out here? So you want to really take a hard look at what are the opportunities out here in the marketplace and how can we best go out and exploit them?
Wow. That is excellent advice. Now, is this when we start talking about SWOT analysis, because a lot of times that has been very, corporate high level type strategy, and a lot of folks either was not taught that or they just don't use the information. Is that something that works all the way down on a very small business level? Should small business people, startups, young companies and that type of thing, should they be thinking along the same line of this SWOT analysis, or can I just go out here because I know I got the best pie? I ain't got to worry about nobody else.
No, that's a great question. And for startup businesses or those in the early stage, you're even going to have to go back a little further.
Okay.
Before you get into your SWOT analysis, you want to put those business foundations in place. You want to have a solid mission statement,
okay,
solid vision statement, solid core values for your company. So those are kind of the foundational building blocks that you need to put in place as a startup or a new business before you even get to the SWOT analysis part.
Now, we got to get through it a little bit faster. But I just want you to make sure that we get this last point out, because I think it's very, very important that our audience hears it.
All right. The last one is threats. It rounds out the SWOT analysis. And threats, obviously, again, 2020 has brought that one home in terms of threats. So you want to look at again, from a high level, what could potentially threaten our business?
Okay.
Customer trends, technology trends, economic trends, financial threats, cost, revenue, debt, cash flow. All of those things have to be looked at and engaged in the threats part of the SWOT analysis. And when you put those four things together, Kevin, you will yield the results that will enable you to compile your KPIs, your key performance indicators, that will be the metrics that will drive your success through the year.
Wow. Now, lastly, you said also establish quarterly checkup points.
Yes.
What do these quarterly checkup points consist of?
What you do is you'll take the strategic plan that you formulated at the beginning of the year, and each quarter you will measure it. You'll measure your progress against the plan, and you also look at it in terms of what other external factors have potentially impacted my plan.
Okay.
For example, when you put your plan together in January of 2020, it was looking real good until March hit and the shutdown came. So then that's the time then to sit down, and that's your quarterly checkpoint then. Okay, we got a pandemic now. We're going to have to make some pivots. We're going to have to make some shifts. We may have to change some things or do some things differently than what we thought we were going to do at the beginning of the year.
Wow. Well, Mark, thank you so much for stopping by and dropping this knowledge on the ABJ listeners. We definitely got to get together, man, and further some of these conversations, and then have you back a little bit later in the year, because I can just hear you got great advice to share with our people. So I know they want to hear it. So thank you so much for joining us today and being a part of the program. And like I say, let's definitely stay connected, and let's talk very soon.
Kevin, you're very welcome, and I wish you a fantastic balance of the day, sir.
All right, man. Thank you so much. Coming up next, we got Marvin Wilson, the funding CEO. Hold on one second, because you definitely want to hear this information. We'll be right back after this.
Is Is your business online? Well, in today's world, if you're not online, then your business is not going to survive. Do you have a WordPress website? Well, if you do, I want to make sure that you go visit my good friends at Fast Fix WP and make sure that WordPress website stays running smooth. Trust me, there is nothing worse than having a big presentation or have a customer on your site and then your site goes down. So I want you to go visit fastfixwp.com and make sure your site stays running smooth and stays online every time you need it.
This pandemic has many people suffering. Are you stressed? Are you not sleeping well? Are you suffering from neck pain, back pain, or headaches? Chiropractic can help. Chiropractic is a natural healing art that can resolve many of your ailments. Dr. Williams and Dr. Fowler of Align for Life are board-certified doctors of chiropractic with over 15 years of combined experience. They are located in South Atlanta and are available for your healthcare needs.
Auto accident, wellness care, slip and fall. We take care of it all. Visit them at yourfinespine.com.
And we are back right here on the number one rated business show, right here on the Real 1100 AM and iHeartRadio. Funding credit, getting your business funded. And I know at the first of the year, this is what everybody is thinking about. Funding credit is a catalyst for individuals who want to become entrepreneurs. They have weekly conference calls educating people who would like to gain more knowledge about financial stability and funding. They provide one-on-one consultations, which include credit counseling, debt management services, and financial education. Funding credit offers credit repair services, enhancement services, and assists small business owners with receiving business funding up to $200,000. And joining me to the program today, it is the CEO of Funded Credit, Mr. Marvin Wilson, all the way from Charlotte, North Carolina. How we doing today, Marvin?
Hey, how you doing, Kevin?
I am doing wonderful, man. After reading all that, we need to have another phone conversation.
Hey, man, I'm working, brother. What more can I say? I'm working.
Well, thank you so much for joining the program today, man. How's everything going up there in Charlotte? Because it's a little wild in Georgia right now.
Well, you know, COVID, man, it's played its part. You know, we're I guess, going into the second phase of, pretty much shutting everything down around 10 o'clock. You know, businesses is definitely hurting.
Oh, yeah.
Small businesses, I mean, they're really feeling it. It's up and down, man. You know, we have to wind up being flexible around here and just, take it as it comes.
I get it, man. I understand. Now you work with entrepreneurs and businesses alike. What are some of the things, especially right now in 2021, what are some of the things that business owners are talking to you about that they're kind of got some concerns on? Because I know everybody's been scared since last year. So.
Yeah, well, we got we got some help. Business owners definitely, we got some help from the SBA and the government side of funding and pretty much trying to, give us a little bit of flexibility on, having capital within our businesses. But, it's coming back around. Of course, you hear people talking about, the EIDL grant and the PPP and those type of things. But from what I'm really gearing into is just asking people really, though, are you fundable? Okay. Are you fundable, whether they give it to us or not? As business owners, are we document ready? And, if we need to, go out and get monies or get funding and, are we ready to go? But the main question is, Marvin, I just want to make sure that I can at least get through the first couple of quarters of 2021, man. And, what we need to do.
Wow. Yep. Now, what are some of the things that you said are refundable? And I think that's a wonderful place to start because a lot of people don't understand it when they first fill out the application. So, what are some of the things that businesses need to do to make sure that they are ready for any type of funding?
Yeah, well, man, I look at it from a bank's perspective. The banks play ball. They don't play ball to lose. So. Let's look at it from there. I always tell my clients, okay, one, are you collateral based? Do you have any collateral? Okay, well then most of them don't. Okay, well then if you're in a startup position, how's your personal credit? as being more of a personal guarantor, they're going to look at it. They're going to fixate everything on your personal credit. And then other than that, is your Dun and Brad, Paydex, and all those other things, P&Ls, that you want to go and get the bigger monies. With our culture, I've always ran into a pickle of, we're all excellent across the board, but our documents are not completed, or we haven't really fulfilled the whole, the part of what the banks wants to see. Have we filled our taxes for the last 2 years, or they want to look at our 4506s, making sure we're all good on that part. Those are really the main sticklers.
Okay.
What I would say is definitely make sure you're definitely over 680 and better. You definitely got to align your personal credit, having some good status and payment history. And then other than that, startup or either season. I mean, sometimes, Kevin, I've looked at guys that's been in business, and, we look up their articles and the business is not even active. I'm like, how are you running a business that's not even active? So those are just the things that we troubleshoot just to make sure that you're fundable. But for the banks, I would say 680 minimum, but definitely love to see guys above 720 and above. Paydex score via 80, but I'd love to see 100. And have some vending trade lines, and definitely have some monetary, credit lines that's going.
Okay.
But we meet people where they are, but that's the main base of it. Are you fundable though, Kevin?
Now that triggers a couple questions for me, because I've dealt with Dun and Bradstreet before, and most of my information that they had was wrong. But how important is that to a business to have that Dun and Bradstreet? And two, and you might not know the answer, where are they getting this information from?
Well, Kevin, started for the information 2015 when I started this journey, when it wanted to start solving problems in the credit community and small businesses. And then it's just, YouTubing. I got my master's degree and looking under anything that defies business credit and funding. I went and got actually sort of we would call it an underwriter proprietary license, knowing how to fulfill and look at small loans, and being able to be showing how to fulfill our credibility and putting the right status in those loan applications to make sure that we're getting the maximum amount. Went to underwriting conventions. I mean, I just shook every bush I could, Kevin. Just over the last 6 years now, it just became me, man, the business model.
Wow. Now, in our culture, and I can speak for us, but in our culture, a lot of times we're so proud of I did this on my own. I saved up and this type of stuff. I didn't take any loans and this type of stuff. Is that the right attitude for us to have at this point?
I get that a lot, Kevin. The thing is what I tell people, there's good debt and there's bad debt. I think that everybody that's going to leave this, before they transition or leave this earth, that they're going to owe something. But I would rather be owing, on a level of business that's going to carry my legacy on. And I'm not talking about, putting anybody in debt. I'm always talking about leverage, which is a whole complete different model. And I mean, if you're set up properly, just the way this whole country's set up, you should be, you're credible. It's just that you're credible. And why not use someone else's money to, to build your business and go out to make big purchases and do things like that? Because, I can put vehicles of my own monies and other things, as far as, savings, mutuals. I mean, it goes on and on about, having a safe keeping for your monies to as far as investment opportunities, but running a business on your own dime, I've always been like, hey man, you can do it, but it could grow a lot bigger, and you can have a whole lot of good employees and duplicate yourself a lot better if you were more in that status of people can look your business up and see what you're paying and what you're taking care of, and and then you're the main player then.
Oh yeah, and I think honestly, a lot of folks start businesses, and that's one of the biggest things that they don't think about. Like now, I'm starting to get a lot of folks, and people are starting to kind of think, all right, I'm gonna have to be able to market this. I'm gonna need money for advertising, this type of stuff. But another one of those things that people are not thinking about is the fact that I'm gonna need some employees. I'm gonna need to be able to pay some salaries and this type of stuff. So is that one big thing that you try to push, especially solopreneurs? Because I think that might be one of the hardest things, because you kind of end up being the employer yourself, and a lot of times it is a horrible position. You worse off than what you would be working for somebody else. So do you try to get business owners in that mindset of, hey, you're going to need to hire people. You're going to need to, and that's the only way you're going to be able to grow this thing.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah, you said a mouthful, and I was probably in that situation for a while, and for me to wake up being burnt out. I mean, we all got to roll our sleeves up at the beginning, Kevin. But usually when you come around that corner 3 years in whatever business, things should be looking up, and you shouldn't be working in your business. You should be working on your business. You have the vision. You have the insight of going to build relationships. But how can you do that when you're fixated in all the sticklers of, making sure you answer every phone call, getting back with people, you trying to play secretary, marketing guy? I mean, it's almost impossible. But then again, it's very possible now with the current technology. If you got the money, you got the funding, you can go out here and outsource a lot of those things if you have the money or the credit.
Oh yeah. Now, one thing, and I've seen this tremendously in 2020. You would not believe the amount of phone calls I get of people want to give me money. Like it's ridiculous. But let me tell you, the other ridiculous part of it is a lot of them are almost 100% interest rates. Some of them even have daily paybacks. It's crazy what's out there. And then the one that always gets me is, hey, we want to give you some money. Send us some bank statements. I don't know you. I've never heard of your business. But what do you tell people about that type of lending?
Yeah, well, and we've heard a lot of different, I would say, just the word of mouth is, sometimes, man, it's about the zip code. Sometimes, they can get your info. It's all about data now, Kevin. And so it's a lot of times you're getting a lot of these mails, or people getting mails that, 30, 40% interest rates. And they know when people are trying to, they're more hustle mode, or they're more into, just trying to make it work, or, they drastic to try to get some type of funding, and they take those things, but, at the end of the day, man, that's not good. I mean, when you're talking about more of paying on dailies, we call them MCAs. Those are merchant cash advances, or we call it sometimes revenue funding. We put it under that umbrella. And those guys, man, I mean, you're paying triple amount of what you're borrowing, and, if I understand sometimes people do get in a business pickle and they do have to go out and get some type of funding, but I try to stay away from those things. But again, the word funding credit stands in the gap, man, is, we can try to, we got all different type of, tricks over here that knows how to line your business and yourself personally, that, within, a couple of weeks, we can change the dynamics of getting you from an MCA, merchant cash advance, to a real line of credit. So now, whatever you're using, it's almost like cash on a credit card, or you can get into some other, powerhouse products that's given out here, more traditional. But it's just about knowing where you are and being patient sometimes. And I tell people, once you get the credit status, guys, it's not time to sit back and sit on your hands. You got to go and run that money down. You got to run that business. And sometimes most times now you can't do it by yourself. So it takes a valuable lesson to understand, everything that's coming at you when you're set up as a business, everybody trying to get into your pockets. You got to make the best decisions, but you make the best decisions when you're not in rush mode and hustle mode. Yeah.
Now, tell me this. Is it a good idea or a bad idea if a business has a lot of debt? Is it a good idea to borrow money to try to come out of that debt? Or is it better just try to figure out another way to handle that? Because, a lot of times, like, for instance, and let me put it like this. In personal credit, a lot of times, people have tremendous amounts of credit card debt, maybe an old car or something like that. And then they can do these consolidation type loans and kind of put all that stuff under one payment. Is that something that is good for a business to do, or is that something businesses should stay away from?
Well, that's an excellent question, Kevin. The thing is what I tell people, while people should understand why I'm trying to get empowering people to be entrepreneurs, definitely when it's something that you love to do, is because you hear about the 30% rule, about the credit to debt ratio when it comes on the personal side. They not want to really play ball or give you anything because it looks like you're in debt.
Okay.
But the specific thing what people forget about on the business side, you've never heard of a business having a credit debt ratio. That's amazing. It totally flies over our community head. I could go out here right now and get $1 million worth of stuff. It doesn't say that I'm in debt. It just says that those are things that I got to pay back. But businesses are built to go into millions, billions, or whatever the case may be. So you never will hear people saying that I'm quote unquote in debt. Now, I understand on the personal side, sometimes you got to do some balance transfers to get some credit cards paid down. Sometimes you're right, debt elimination to get all those things either under maybe a credit union would got the best rates. But that's when you need to come talk to somebody that can really look at your overall situation and really give you a valuable, execution on this is what I need to do. This is how I can get out of it. And this is how I can stay out of it.
Wow. Now, lastly, a lot of folks get in these business loans and find out these payments ain't like mortgage payments. They're a lot higher than that. How do you prepare your clients for that?
Well, I mean, the thing is you got to understand that, when you take these monies from these loans and stuff like that, I mean, it's all about where you are in business. Sometimes more seasoned businesses get better rates. They get better products. But at the end of the day, it just goes back to understanding where you are. I mean, if you're going to get $100,000, how does that look? How is it set up? How's the term set up? I mean, is this something you got to pay back in the next few years? Where do you see yourself in business for the next few years? So profit and loss sheets, all those type of things that I mentioned earlier, you're really looking at the whole scale, not just one thing when you're making a decision. But I just say scale your business. Look at it in quarters. Sometimes it's best to file your taxes quarterly instead of on a yearly basis. I mean, it just depends on how you're rolling, how's the revenue coming in, and then your whole execution about paying it back.
Well, Marvin, thank you so much for joining me today and dropping some of this knowledge on our guests. I mean, on our audience. You've been a great guest. One thing, definitely I got to have you back because we need to talk about, and we'll do it a little bit closer to tax time, but we got to talk about the importance of business owners doing those taxes and doing it correctly.
Okay. All right, man. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Kev, for the opportunity.
All right, Marvin. We'll be right back after this.
Is your business online? Well, in today's world, if you're not online, then your business is not going to survive. Do you have a WordPress website? Well, if you do, I want to make sure that you go visit my good friends at Fast Fix WP and make sure that WordPress website stays running smooth. Trust me, there is nothing worse than having a big presentation or have a customer on your site and then your site goes down. So I want you to go visit fastfixwp.com and make sure your site stays running smooth and stays online every time you need it.
This pandemic has many people suffering. Are you stressed? Are you not sleeping well? Are you suffering from neck pain, back pain, or headaches? Chiropractic can help. Chiropractic is a natural healing art that can resolve many of your ailments. Dr. Williams and Dr. Fowler of Align for Life are board-certified doctors of chiropractic with over 15 years of combined experience. They are located in South Atlanta and are available for your healthcare needs.
If you want to be fine, take care of your spine. Visit them at yourfinespine.com.
And we are back right here on the #1 rated business show on Real 1100 AM. Woo! We got a lot going on today and yesterday, but we got a lot going on today. Joining me to the program, he is our ABJ political commentator, and we are so happy and so pleased to have him. He is well connected in the political world, and policy is his middle name. Welcome to the show, everyone. John Moy.
Thank you, Brother Price. How you doing?
I am doing wonderful, man. What is going on?
Brother Pride, let me tell you something. I think all of us began the day in a celebratory mood. We had 3 million people come out to vote over the last couple of weeks. We're looking at a history being made today with the election of Raphael Warnock and John Ossoff. And against this backdrop, the United States Capitol has been stormed. I mean, I was on a call maybe an hour ago with a good friend of mine who's the chief of staff to a member of Congress, and we had to pause the call because he said that the member they weren't sure about their safety, and so I immediately turned on CNN. And so I think all of us as Americans are not only shocked, but we have to fight for this country, Kevin. We have to do it more now than ever. So it's a happy day, but it's also kind of a sad day at the same time for our country.
Yeah, I mean, with all we've gone through in 2020, with all the different rioting and all the protesting and stuff, and to see this today, it's almost starting to feel like we in Iran somewhere.
It is. It's crazy. I mean, it's something like you would see in an undemocratic country. I mean, to see people storm the Capitol, storm the chamber on a day that should have been just where you're actually celebrating the election of a new president and vice president. And it's just turned into absolute chaos. So I think all of us are shocked and just dismayed about what's going on in our nation's capital.
It's funny. As I was riding over here, I heard him playing a clip from Mitch McConnell, and he was saying the Democrats started this. But he said in 2000, I think he went way back to 2004 and talked about everything that they put up when Bush won the election. So he said the Democrats is the one that started this.
It was crazy. I saw the Senate Majority Leader on the floor today and gave a speech that I thought probably should have been given a little bit earlier. And then I saw Senator Schumer give a pretty great speech in terms of our country and what it means. And so I know people are very passionate. People are passionate on both sides, and I certainly understand that. But at the end of the day, Kevin, this is about our country, and I think all of us have to put country ahead of our own interests and goals, for the sake of all of us.
I'm trying to even think how far now this goes back, because I really started paying attention to politics, really Clinton and then young Bush, George W. But it's like the divide in our country is just getting further and further and further apart. And now we're to a point where we're fighting with each other over it and willing to tear down our own capital. So do you think there's a healing period after this at some point?
I think there is. I mean, I think no matter who you are, no matter what political side of the spectrum, I mean, to look at this today on television, nobody would ever think, my children are calling me right now. My daughter actually worked for a member of Congress in New York, and she's been blowing up my phone like, Dad, what's going on?
Wow.
She's 30 years old. And I mean, this is crazy stuff. So, I mean, no matter what side are you on, no matter what it is, we have to agree that we have to fight for this country. We have to do that. It's all of our country. And to see what's going on today is just, it's really disappointing. But I think to answer your question directly, I think there's going to be healing. I think people from both sides of the spectrum have to come together to find a way forward. I cannot believe in this country, Kevin, that we can't find middle ground on some of the key important issues. We may have differences of opinion, and that's fine in democracy, but we all have to agree that, that capital represents you and me, whoever you are, and we have to be respectful of each other. So I think we can do it. It's going to be hard and tough, but I think we certainly can do it. I really believe that.
And I see hope as well, because a lot of stuff, I talk with a lot of people, and what I really truly find, most people are pretty much in the middle, and then we kind of split on real specific issues. I mean, and don't get me wrong, we'll fight about them, but most people, the majority of them are pretty much in the middle.
Most people are in the middle. I mean, whether people are call themselves conservative or they call themselves liberal, most people in the end, are the middle of the road folks. But sometimes you get so passionate about these issues on both sides, with both sides of the spectrum, that you can kind of lose, your perspective of what's really important. At the end of the day, yes, we can have differences of opinion. We can have a passionate argument, but then we split the difference and we go on. We're not going to tear the whole thing down. We accomplished nothing by what you're looking on here. Imagine all over the world, Kevin, whether you're in Iran or Iraq or South Africa, wherever, and you're looking at this on television.
Yeah,
you can't even believe it. It's unsettling. It's going to unsettle the markets. It's going to unsettle our allies all around the world. This is just unacceptable, and we have to find a better way to do it.
Oh yeah, I'm disappointed. I really am, and I don't know if this is really just a symptom of the times that we're in, or really, truly needs to be laid at the footsteps of Donald Trump. But and even then, when he got elected, I think that was really just kind of pretty much the times that we were in, because he was real reflective of that period. But now, just to see how bad we are, and how just angry and upset and emotional, and how people are willing to just get out and just burn down our own capital. It's sad to have to explain that to your children.
It is sad. My youngest son is in college, and in Pennsylvania, and he just sent me a text. Dad, what's going on? Dad, what's going on? And I'm trying to explain it to him, but it's something that we all have to. It's soul searching at this point, Kevin. All of us have to look at ourselves and to say, listen, it's important, but it can't be to the point where we're literally burning down the house over this stuff. We have to find a way. And our children are watching this stuff. I mean, we're supposed to be the grown-ups, so we're supposed to be in charge. We're supposed to be the adults. We have to lead by example. We have to do that.
Now, on to more inspirational.
Sure, thank you, brother.
Reverend Warnock has officially won the race. So he is now Senator-elect. Reverend Doctor, he got so many titles. Raphael Warnock.
That's right.
How big is this for Georgia and our community?
It's big in so many ways. I mean, just as African Americans, I listen to stories from my great grandmother who's gone now, about picking cotton, in the 30s.
Wow.
And I listened to those stories as a kid. I'm 53 now, and to put that in perspective, I mean, of what we went through in this country, particularly here, in the South, particularly here in Georgia, the fights that we had to go through in terms of Reconstruction. And to see that a son of the South is the next senator elect from this state, it's monumental. And not only that, making the connection coming out of Ebenezer, it's almost like he's a member of the Joshua generation. Dr. King led the way, and now he's handed up to a guy who's clearly capable. And more importantly, it really is a testament to the American dream of really, in the end, of really who we are, not the images that we're looking at on TV today. None of that stuff. He's a true embodiment of what it is, and more importantly, to the world. The whole world is watching him get elected, and it really is a testament, to this country. So it covers so many, checks so many boxes. I'm so proud of him. I'm proud of our people who now understand Black power. Wow. And understand, and that's not for joy. We have power to change elections, to change the composition of the Senate, to elect a new president, to elect a Congress, and to really change the world right here in the state of Georgia. So I'm just a happy guy today about all of it and what all of it means.
Now, one thing that is just so remarkable is just the record numbers that we've seen in voting. And one of my biggest questions is, and I think even the Republicans are kind of wondering this themselves now, how were the Democrats able to mobilize and energize so many people and get so many people out there to the polls?
I think it was a two-parter. I think people were kind of mobilized and energized, and it was just simple retail, politics. I mean, I actually had people in the middle of a pandemic knocking on my door. I mean, they knocked on my door. I got calls and direct mails and text messages and emails and commercials. But more importantly than that, I think as a community, I think we finally realized that the power that we have. And also, Kevin, if I can add to you, there's an old saying that the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Okay.
That you and I may not agree, but we all agree that what we're looking at on television, what we've witnessed over the last 4 years, is just unacceptable. And we don't have the luxury to sit home and not participate in this democracy. You have to participate, you have to get involved, and you have to vote. And I think after the election in November, in terms of the Biden win here in Georgia, I think people said, listen, wait a minute. We have the numbers and we have the power. We got to come on and take it the rest of the way. So, I mean, kudos to our brothers and sisters. You know, it's a great day for our state, great day for our country, and more importantly, a great day for our people.
Now, is this really the turning of Georgia, where we will basically be a Democratic state in the South at this point, or do you think Republicans just didn't show up?
Well, Kevin, you always ask the questions, brother.
Well, I know the turnout numbers, because I love politics. For me, it's football.
I think it's potentially a turning point. I mean, obviously over the next a few election cycles, we're going to see what it means. I mean, at the end of the day, the governor of the state is still Republican. The attorney general is Republican. Both houses are controlled by Republicans. And so we'll see, the real test will come in terms of midterm, 2022 for the race for governor that's coming up, and when the state legislature will be up again, so, it'll be foreseen. But right now, a clear message was sent, and I think people are just ready for change.
Okay. We got one more race we waiting on, or have they called it?
On our side?
Uh-huh.
I think it's trending. I think they're waiting for some more numbers to come in for him. But the last, he seems to be up, and it seems to be expanding. And so I think all political pundits would think it's more than likely it's going to go to him. But I don't think he gave a great speech today.
Okay.
But I think he takes it. I really do.
Okay. We definitely gonna see. Now Purdue would have been the hardest one to unseat, because Kelly Loeffler, I gotta be honest, she's just a horrible politician. Anybody that saw that debate, he was just so robotic. I felt sorry for her. But definitely want to welcome you to the Atlanta Business Journal family. We are so happy to have you here as our political commentator. We know you're gonna do a stellar job and just bring so much more to the ABJ and to all our readers and listeners and viewers and everything. Just give us just a quick preview of what you got in store for us for 21.
Oh, listen, there's so much going on right now, but I just want to keep people, we're going to be talking about redistricting. Okay. I mean, the census was done last year. Now it's time to redraw the lines, and we want to make sure that our people are protected in the House and the Senate and locally. So we're going to kick that off as the state legislature starts talking about that. And then we'll bring in some real smart young people. I mean, we had young people all over the state really kind of helping us to move the needle. So we're going to bring in some new young voices to the table and talk to our elected officials and talk to some business folks about what's in store for Georgia. I think the best days for Georgia are ahead of us, Kevin. I really believe that. And we're going to really talk to our people about that going forward. So that's what's on my agenda. I would say to you, stay tuned, brother. Stay tuned.
Well, once again, thank you so much, John Moy, the ABJ political commentator. And once again, man, congratulations and thank you so much for joining us. To the number one, all right, to the number one rated audience, thank y'all so much for tuning in for another episode. We will be back live next week, same place, same time. Keep listening. Follow me on Instagram at IamKCPride. Follow me on LinkedIn. We just started streaming over there at Kevin C. Pride, and follow me on Facebook as always at IamKCPride. I will see you guys next week, and we are out.
You're listening to WWE Real 1100 AM, and we want you to practice good hygiene by